What is up, guys? I'm Zeke and welcome to another video. This video we are going to be discussing April 24th. Some of you might know about that. If some of you don't, not surprised, but we'll get into that. It was a big thing going around on TikTok. I'll just say it. There were a handful of people claiming that it was going to be National Rape Day. And I was curious on the whole thing. I was skeptical because I saw how little traction videos were getting on it. But I was curious, so I did some research into it. And from that research, I actually recorded a video right here about, it was like 3 days before April 24th. Now that the day has obviously passed, I wanted to give my thoughts afterwards. And shut up, phone. I'm going to show you guys that video, and then I'm going to show you guys my thoughts afterwards. I said, shut up. Shut up. My phone keeps going off. I don't think we have much further introduction. I will get much more into the topic when we come back from this video. So, enjoy. What's up, guys? It's Zeke. I'm recording this right now. I don't know if I'll actually put it up or anything like that. I don't know if I'll make it into a real video, but I've kind of been wanting to say some stuff on it, so I thought might as well. Wouldn't hurt to have the footage. So April 24th has kind of been going around on the internet. Gosh, this is so difficult to talk about. This is what I'm trying to talk about here is something that is, how should I say, so vague and so bare in hard evidence. There's been a TikTok thing going around. I know some people are already going to hear that and groan. Apparently, April 24th is rumored to be National Rape Day, where men are going to get together and be free to rape. I'm trying not to laugh. I'm a fucking horrible person. Okay. I'm not laughing at the situation. I'm not trying to delegitimize the situation. It's just my dark sense of humor because that does kind of sound hilarious. How do I feel on this? From what I have seen, I have done quite a bit of research into this, more research than I look into most other things. I don't think that this is going to happen, and I'll explain that in a bit. And I can understand people not wanting to take the risk of it not being real, which I can understand. You know, that's a very fair place to take. I don't think it has any validity to it. So where this started, honestly, I actually heard about this from some Snapchat stories of some of my personal friends. So I didn't hear about this through any large media source. I just heard about it through individuals that I know that don't have a social media presence at all. And I read something where it said like April 24th is going to be hectic. Girls stay inside. And I looked into it, and apparently they were claiming that it's a day where men are going to claim free reign on sexual assault and rape. So I looked more into it. I just looked up April 24th TikTok, and that's the claim that people were making. And I kept looking into everything, seeing if this was legitimate. All that I could find in terms of video proof and just content proof were articles writing about it and videos of people responding to it. There were no videos that were a part of it. And I was really confused. I was like, everyone's warning about this, but there's nothing there. Like, I cannot find anything. And if this was big enough and if enough people are actually making videos on this, there has to be something. So I tried to look. People were claiming that 6 men were claiming that day. You can't find their videos on TikTok anymore, but you can't find the videos anywhere on the internet. I have not found them. You would expect them to be on Reddit. I don't have Twitter. They might be on Twitter, I don't know, but the videos are gone. People have said that they've gotten deleted, but knowing the internet, nothing truly ever gets deleted. You can always find something, and I couldn't find anything. So it was all just hearsay that I found. And no one was even citing back to the original TikTok creators that were claiming this. I guess you can make the argument that they don't want to give that person attention, but Also, you kind of should, because that's not the same as like someone just being racist, right? Or being sexist, you know, or someone just being an attention whore online and making a bunch of obscene comments just to get attention. So it's like, let's just kind of let that person do their thing. Don't indulge them. This is something a bit more serious, the way that people are presenting it. So I don't believe the claim that people would purposefully hide who those people are or not show their content for safety. That really seems contradictory. And maybe people do think that way, and it is just contradictory, but they didn't realize it. I don't buy that either, because people have done it in the past where they brought a lot of attention to a certain person. That didn't happen this time. But I looked through a lot of the videos. I think I already said this, I'm not sure. I'm sorry. Like I said, this is all impromptu. I'm really bad with speaking. But if I had to guess on what's gonna happen, this isn't gonna happen. I don't believe that this is a thing. I don't believe that, or at least I don't believe it's a nationwide thing. I don't believe that there's basically going to be a purge for rape. I've seen no evidence for this other than 6 completely anonymous and completely ghosts, like phantom men, basically. I don't like to use phantom in that sense because that makes it sound like mocking, but you cannot find the people. There's just not enough traction on this. And another big thing, because like I was saying before, there's not a lot on this. There are just TikTok videos of people acknowledging this, spreading awareness on this, and articles. And the TikTok stuff is not very popular. A lot of the people that are commenting on it are small creators. And that's not an insult. That's not me bashing on smaller creators. I mean, you're looking at one. But this clearly is something that's not picking up traction. So that means that, because like I said, I didn't get this from a big media source. And to that, because a lot of people have made the argument on this, why this is a threat, is even if those guys created the video as a troll, right? Even if they created it just being assholes, basically not really meaning it, people have claimed that there's going to be someone out there who sees that and thinks that it's real. Maybe a handful, and I literally mean a handful, maybe like less than 5 people would actually see that and believe it to be a thing. And I'm not saying that any of it's okay. I'm not saying that 2 is a good number or 3 is a good number. 0 is the ideal number, of course. But I don't think that this is a threat. I heard a rumor going around about this, that apparently there were laws being passed on the charging of rape, and the passing of the new law, there would be that open window to where the old law's out, the new law's not in yet, so there would be like a 1-day window to legally rape. I've shit on the government many times in my life. That is ludicrous. There is no way that anything that severe of a law would actually happen. And also, I found no evidence for that whatsoever. Sure, just because you don't see it doesn't mean it's not there, doesn't mean it's not existing. Something like that would be huge enough to be covered. If federal law, or even state law, people talk about California law all the time, they talk about other state laws all the time. People would talk about something like that where a major law literally left an open window to legally rape. That would be noticed, and it has not been noticed by anybody. And people are just going back to the thing of some people will see this, and even if it was intended as a joke, some people are going to take it seriously, which is valid. But some people were comparing this to the storming of the Capitol. The President of the United States making a statement on the largest social media platform in the world versus 6 anonymous men who have vanished from TikTok on one of the most popular social media platforms. I don't think that those equate at all. I don't think that this movement is going to lead to a roaming band of rapists. I'm saying that a bit tongue-in-cheek on purpose, but I don't see any comparison between the two. I don't think that they're comparable. If they are just using that as an example to lay out the concept or the precedent, that makes more sense, where you're just saying like, oh, you can't rule that out because it happened over here. If you're just talking about that idea itself, using an example, sure, but I still don't think it applies. My most optimistic view on this whole thing would be some really shitty people got access to the platform, in which they should. We should open up the platform to anybody, I believe. But they got a hold of it. They got access to publicly state something. They made a sick, twisted joke. I'm not defending this joke, and I don't want to delegitimize, or I don't even want to call it a joke because I don't know. I don't want to delegitimize this at all. I don't want to weaken it. I don't want it to seem any less of a threat than it. Well, I shouldn't say that. I'll just say it like that. I don't want to delegitimize any of this. I'm just stating my predictions and how I feel about it. But my most optimistic predictions and view on this is that horrible people got hold of the platform, made a video, scared some innocent TikTok users, and they started a movement to go against this. That's completely understandable. My most pessimistic is that you had a couple of assholes on the internet, as there usually are, and people, for one, not understanding how technology works. Technology is not like newspapers. Anybody could get onto the internet and say anything. If something is on the internet, it's not always true. It's better to go for either invalid or false than it is to go valid or true. But I think a lot of people don't seem to understand how the internet works, that anybody could get on and say anything. Like, I could just get on and say that my birthday, I'm gonna start a Holocaust. I could say that. Is there anything to back that up? No. I think that's how people are handling it. I think that they are letting their fear and emotions get to them, which is a very human thing to do. I can't blame people for doing that. I also think that people are falling into the traps that many people do, letting the internet kind of dictate their actions and thoughts. And I don't want this whole thing to be just like the purpose of, oh, I'm gonna comment on how society acts. I don't give a shit about how society acts. I'm just making an observation. But a lot of people seem to put too many of their eggs into the internet and social media basket. And so when people see stuff like this, they equate that to a next door neighbor. When again, we don't know anything about this. If I had to be blunt, I don't think this is going to happen. Do I encourage safety? Absolutely, I do. But I encourage safety any day. I encourage self-preservation and protection any day, every day. I tried to look into the stats of sexual assaults for 2021. Now, the year is very young, so I don't know how valid any of these stats would be, but I did find one. Again, I don't know how legit it is, but it said that we were, what was it? It was about 84,000 cases for sexual assault so far this year. Now, again, that number could be very, very skewed. I understand that, but seeing that number, if you do the math, that means that there's been around 700 sexual assault cases a day in America. I'm not saying that that is actually what's happening, but just to have that in perspective, just keep that in mind, that crimes happen every day across the country, across the world. Shit happens to everybody. Thefts, murders, rapes, sexual assaults, anything like that. That shit happens minute to minute. And I think that we've seen this before on the internet, of something big happening, people not understanding how correlation works, and they look at that thing happening and immediately attribute it to something else unfairly. I think that people are hearing about April 24th being a rape day, keeping that in their minds, having it stirring, And again, that happens to the best of us. I'm not one to argue how people should function within their own psychosis, because I don't understand any of that. But people are gonna hear about National Rape Day, if they have. That's gonna be sitting in their minds that this upcoming Sunday is gonna be a big day of rape. And then when a rape comes out, people are gonna automatically attribute that to Rape Day. When that shit just happens. Criminals commit crimes. Rapists rape. Rapists, if you are truly that despicable of a person, you're probably not waiting for a day to come around where everybody else is doing it. I think that people are gonna see actual crimes happen, attribute it to this TikTok thing, and then use that for their own agenda. That's pessimistic of me, I understand, but I've seen that happen too much. Obviously, I hope that nothing happens to anybody that day, but I also understand that that's not a realistic stance to take. Something is going to happen to anybody that day as it would the next day, or the day before, or any other day of the year. This country is filled with 350 million people. Crimes like that are going to occur. It is inevitable. It is a shame, and I wish that there was just an easy switch to turn off to get rid of all that, but that's not going to happen. And I think that people need to just be more rational with this stuff. If I had to close this, obviously be safe, no matter what day it is, no matter where you are, no matter who you are, be safe. But also try and look out for when your emotions are getting the best of you and your fears are getting the best of you. It's not wrong to have those fears, but it's wrong to let those fears take the wheel. I would say, honestly, just go live that day like it's any other day. If you protect yourself more on that day than you do other days, maybe you should just change how you protect yourself. And I don't want it to sound like I'm blaming victims. I don't want it to sound like I'm gaslighting. I just want to encourage safety overall. You know, I think that a big problem with the internet is that people really find a hot button thing and they want to stick to that because it's current and it gets people's feathers all riled when they don't look at the bigger picture of things. But yeah, I would just say tread lightly, stay safe, and stay calm, stay rational. Don't let something happen to you. Don't be open to something happening to you. Make sure that you are in a safe environment. Make sure that you are protected. I don't think that people need to stay inside. Some people have been saying, like, I would encourage everyone to just stay home that day. I'm sorry, but I don't think that day is going to be any different. Like, this happened back. A friend of mine thought that because The Simpsons made a prediction at one point, he thought that the apocalypse, or at least the crumbling of America, was going to come the day of Biden's inauguration. And so he wanted me to get my gear together and my family together, and we would all huddle up for when the doomsday came. I told him that I had to work. I had to fucking work. Just be safe, people. Be prepared for what you can be prepared for. Just live life like the internet's not a part of it. I really try to do that day to day. But that's all I've got to say. I'm Zeke, and thank you for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Okay, so those were my original thoughts on the entire thing. Like I said, I recorded that 4 days before the actual event. As you could tell by the video, my views haven't really changed on it. In fact, the day that it happened, I completely forgot about it because I was fucking partying at my last ever prom. Shit was lit. I was wearing the snazziest blue suit I've ever worn in my life. I was just jamming that day. This is my problem with stuff like this catching on. Two big problems of mine with stuff like this catching on. I can understand people wanting to be safe. I can understand that. But people always say, oh, it may not actually be a thing, but some people might think it is. It's like, well, that's a completely different story. I guess not. But that's not enough to make this a huge deal. Because guess what? You guys, I'm sorry, but bringing more attention to it could actually cause something like this to get worse. That's kind of how these things go. A lot of people that do horrific acts involving the internet usually do it to get attention.
There's a great video that I actually want to put in the description. It's from Abba and Preach. But a few years ago, they made a video discussing PewDiePie stopping the subscribe to PewDiePie movement because of the shooter in, I believe it was some European country. There was a shooter that shot up a church in a European country on a live stream, and at the end of the live stream, he said subscribe to PewDiePie, and so PewDiePie decided to end the movement after that because of what it had turned into. And I can respect that, but I actually agree a lot more with what Avon Preach said in the video. But they said in that video, doing something like this, while they understand how he feels, it sets a bad precedent, because that's kind of what they want. They want to, like, put their stamp on a movement. They want to get a rise out of people. They want to stir the pot. It's a really mundane and euphemistic way to put it, and I understand that, but that's just how it is. They just want to mix shit up and start shit just to get people's attentions and get people's emotions riled up. People bringing a lot of attention to this, because their whole argument is like, we gotta spread awareness about it, we gotta protect people, because even if it may not be real, some people might think it's real, and they might do something about it, even if it's not a legit thing. Sure. But you putting it on the internet more and more than it actually is, instead of suppressing it and turning it into nothing, and like shoving it down so that the people that are fucked up enough to do this stuff just out of attention, they won't see it. And there's a more likely of a chance that they won't do that if there's less videos. So you bringing awareness to it is kind of doing the opposite of what you want. Now, I'm not doing this as like a finger wag, like, you guys fucked up, this is your fault. Bringing attention to this stuff doesn't always, it can actually bring the opposite results that you want it to. And then the other thing, which I talked about a little bit in this, people are going to know this day as National Rape Day, and then they are going to see rapes that happened that day and pin it on that and feed that into an agenda and try to blame somebody for it and make somebody an evil person because of rapes happening that day, when rapes are going to happen anyways. And then I even remember a TikTok that I saw where a girl was saying, like, 3 Amber Alerts have happened in my area because of National Rape Day, when it was like 4 days before National Rape Day. That doesn't make sense. I just wanted to make those points, and like I said, now that it's passed, I knew it wasn't going to happen. Now that it's done, and I can, like, be open about it, and no one can be, like, hurt or victimized from it, I fucking knew it from the get-go, man. I'm proud of myself, because in this video, I really did try to, like, keep my composure and be respectful about the topic. Now that it's done, like, really, well, that's not fair. I don't want to drop that. I do want to be respectful about it. But also, now that it's done, and we truly see what's happening, I'm sorry, but come on. We had to have known that stuff like this was not gonna happen. Mainstream coverage did nothing about this. Anything. Nothing. Like I said, I counted maybe 10 articles, and they were all from small-time publishers. And like I said in this isn't me insulting people for not being famous or popular or having a small following. I just knew that, like, their whole argument of people seeing this is going to gain traction and people are actually going to do it, it wasn't gaining traction. And the little traction it was getting, you guys were kind of feeding into that. Again, I'm not blaming them. I'm just letting them know, like, that's just how this stuff works. I get the precedent that they're trying to set, but it's the wrong method. I think we'll just be able to tell in the future when it's actually something. The stuff like this, like, truly does get covered. And this didn't, man. If I had to say, I said it a little bit in this, but if I had to say one thing for people, understand that the internet is an open platform. It's not like you get hired to write on the internet. Anyone can write on the internet. Like I said in here, I could write right now that I'm going to start a genocide of Polynesians. It's on the internet. Yeah.
But Zeke. Like, some people are gonna see that, and even though it may not be true, they might think it's true and start killing Polynesians.
I'm sorry, that's not valid. It's not. Just understand that, like, everything on the internet, even big-time articles, because we've seen in the past that many things have been fabricated to get traction for them. Take everything on the internet with a grain of salt, including my opinion on this. Maybe I'm fucking wrong. I don't know. just take everything with a grain of salt. That's all I ask. But that's that for you. That's the saga of April 24th. Obviously, I know I'm late to the party. I can't really help that. Thank you for watching, guys. If you want to, let me know in the comments down below what you thought about this whole thing, your predictions. It sounds very YouTuber-y of me, and I don't really like it. But still, like, I feel like there could be some actual discussions about this. And if I get some, I might even be able to make like a podcast on it at some point, discussing everybody's comments. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.